Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're stepping into the strange, the ancient, and the completely unexplainable. Human history is full of mysteries, ruins that shouldn't exist, inventions that appear too advanced for their time, disappearances with no logical explanation, symbols that no one can decode, and artifacts that feel as though they came from a different world. As much as we pride ourselves on being modern, rational beings with satellites, supercomputers, and laboratories, there are still so many questions about the past we simply cannot answer. And that is what makes history so fascinating. Not the things we know, but the things we don't. The moments where all the scientific tools, historical records, and educated guesses still leave us staring into a void of unanswered questions. Because sometimes the past isn't just old, it's confusing. Sometimes it breaks its own rules. Sometimes it feels like a message from ancient people telling us, "You're not as smart as you think you are." So today, we're diving into historical mysteries that make absolutely no sense even today. Mysteries that leave experts baffled, archaeologists scratching their heads, and researchers asking whether entire pieces of human history have been lost, buried, or erased. Let's begin with one of the strangest cases in historical record-keeping, the man who appeared to come from a country that didn't exist. In the early 19th century, a traveler arrived in Germany presenting documents that identified him as being from a nation called Tord. The problem? Tord did not appear on any map, and his passport, currency, and paperwork were all unfamiliar to authorities. The man insisted that his country had existed for hundreds of years, and he seemed genuinely distressed when officials showed him a map with no such place. He was detained for investigation, placed in a room under guard, and the next morning he had vanished. No one saw him leave. Every document he brought disappeared with him. Whether he was a con artist, a time traveler, a dimensional glitch, or part of a lost piece of history, no one knows. What we do know is that the mystery has never been solved. Another perplexing mystery comes from ancient Egypt, where archaeologists uncovered a series of perfectly preserved tombs belonging to elite families and royalty. These tombs contained inscriptions detailing rituals, offerings, blessings, and family lineages, except for one. In one tomb, belonging to an apparently important official, the inscriptions ended abruptly. There were no death records, no ceremonial writings, no mention of illness or war, just an unfinished story. Scholars still debate what happened. Did he vanish? Was he erased intentionally? Did something occur that was so shameful, so forbidden, or so dangerous that his name was wiped from history? In ancient Egypt, erasing a person's name was considered a fate worse than death. So whatever he did, or whatever happened to him, must have been truly catastrophic. While we're in the ancient world, let's move to the Nazca civilization in Peru. Everyone knows the Nazca lines. Massive geoglyphs carved into the desert, visible only from the sky. But what most people don't know is that these mysterious shapes are just one piece of the puzzle. Recently, archaeologists uncovered networks of underground aqueducts, strange stone spirals, and ceremonial platforms that appear to have been used for rituals involving water. Why water? Because the Nazca lived in one of the driest places on Earth. Their survival depended on their ability to bring water out of the ground. The geoglyphs, it turns out, may not have been simple drawings. They might have been part prayer, part technology, part map. But the biggest mystery is how. How did a pre-industrial civilization create structures so precise they can still irrigate land today? How did they map miles-long drawings without ever seeing them from above? And why were the symbols so important that they risked starvation by dedicating resources to carving them? No one has those answers. One of the most chilling mysteries in historical architecture lies beneath the streets of Edinburgh, Scotland. A tiny cave, discovered by accident, contained 17 miniature coffins, each with a small wooden figure inside, each carved by hand, and each placed carefully into the stone chamber. There were no markings, no inscriptions, no clues. The coffins were arranged in rows, as if part of a ritual or memorial. Some historians believe they represent victims of the infamous Burke and Hare murders, a pair of serial killers who sold corpses to medical schools. Others think the figures were created as a spiritual offering, perhaps as substitutes for bodies denied a proper burial. But to this day, no one knows who made them, why they were hidden, or what they were meant to protect, or worn. Moving from burial mysteries to language, let's talk about the Voynich manuscript. You've heard of it. Everyone fascinated by mystery eventually does. It's a book filled with bizarre illustrations of plants that don't exist, diagrams of constellations that don't match the night sky, and pages of text written in an unknown alphabet. Cryptographers, code breakers, historians, linguists, none of them have been able to decode it. Even modern AI models can't crack it. Some researchers think it's a medical text written in a lost language. Others believe it's an elaborate hoax. But if it is a hoax, why is it so consistent? Why does it follow grammatical rules and linguistic patterns? And why does it appear to describe biological systems no medieval writer could have known about? Until the day someone deciphers it, the manuscript remains one of the strangest messages from history. Another mystery defying explanation is the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device discovered in a shipwreck in 1901. At first, archaeologists thought it was just a corroded lump of bronze. But once the gears were examined, everything changed. The device turned out to be a complex mechanical computer capable of predicting eclipses, astronomical movements, and planetary cycles with astonishing accuracy. It even allowed users to track the timing of ancient Olympic Games. The problem? It was built more than 2,000 years ago. There should have been no technology remotely close to its sophistication at that time. Even today, experts struggle to fully understand how it was constructed. Did the Greeks possess lost knowledge? Was the device unique or part of a larger tradition? And why were no other examples ever found? Some mysteries involve people, entire civilizations even, vanishing without warning. The disappearance of the Roanoke colony remains one of the most haunting. More than 100 settlers vanished from their fort in the late 1500s, leaving behind only a single carved word, Croatan. There was no sign of violence, no bodies, no supplies, no clues. Theories range from assimilation into local tribes, to disease, to supernatural explanations, to something far darker. New research provides possible hints, but nothing conclusive. The silence of that abandoned settlement still echoes through American history. In the Pacific, the Moai statues on Easter Island present another puzzle. Their size alone is incredible, massive stone figures weighing up to 80 tons. But what's truly strange is how they were moved. The islanders had no wheels, no large animals, and limited resources. Yet they transported these giants miles across rough terrain. Some researchers believe they used ropes to walk the statues upright, rocking them from side to side. Others say they built tracks. But even if we accept those theories, there's still the question of why. Why carve hundreds of enormous stone figures on a resource-scarce island? Was it religious, ceremonial, political, or something else entirely? And then there's Göbekli Tepe, one of the oldest man-made structures ever discovered. Built over 11,000 years ago, it predates pottery, writing, agriculture, and the wheel. According to history, people at that time should have been simple hunter-gatherers, not builders of massive stone temples with sophisticated carvings. The site suggests that religion, not farming, may have been the catalyst for civilization, turning our understanding of human development upside down. But the biggest question remains: who built it? Why? And how did they bury the entire structure intentionally, only for it to be rediscovered thousands of years later? Of course, no list of historical mysteries would be complete without mentioning the lost city of Atlantis. Plato described it as a technologically advanced civilization swallowed by the sea in a single day. Scholars still debate whether Atlantis was a real place, a metaphor, or a retelling of an earlier disaster. But underwater ruins discovered near Greece, Turkey, and the Caribbean continue to fuel speculation. Did a real civilization inspire the story? And if so, how much of its history has been lost beneath the ocean? History is full of questions that feel like loose threads. Pull one, and the entire tapestry begins to unravel. But perhaps that's what makes the past so irresistible. We're not just studying old bones and dusty ruins. We're searching for meaning, connection, answers. And every mystery, whether big or small, reminds us of how much humanity has forgotten. Somewhere out there, buried underground, hidden in a cave, lost in a library, or sitting unnoticed in a museum, there may be clues waiting to solve these puzzles. Or perhaps the solutions vanished centuries ago, and all we have left are fragments of stories that will never fully reveal themselves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy deep dives into history's greatest mysteries, be sure to subscribe. We have many more unexplained stories, ancient puzzles, and strange historical secrets coming your way. See you in the next video. And remember, the past never truly stays buried.